So, there's a lot of buzz about Google's new Gemini models, right? Let's break down what it actually means for you. In this video, I'm going to give you a simple, high-level look at all the exciting new updates. First, I'll introduce you to the new and improved Gemini family. Then, we'll solve the mystery behind that recent post from the head of Google AI Studio. What did he really mean? To make it super clear, I'll compare the models so you can see the real differences. Plus, we'll have a little fun and see how the new Gemini handles a Pokémon test. It's a good one. To finish, I've got a cool demo of the super speedy Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite so you can see it for yourself. This will be one of the amazing video for sure. Let's get started. First, the strongest of family, Gemini 2.5 Pro is now generally available and stable. There are no changes from the June 5th preview you might already have tested. At the same time, Gemini 2.5 Flash is also generally available and stable, with the same capabilities you saw in the May 20th preview, though we'll cover updated pricing in a moment. And now there's a brand new member, the fastest of family, Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite, which is in preview today. All of these Gemini 2.5 models share a key innovation: they're thinking models. That means each can reason through intermediate steps, essentially thinking out loud before giving you a final answer. You get control over how much thinking budget to allocate via an API parameter, so you can decide when to let the model pause, plan, and reflect versus when to prioritize speed. This change boosts performance and accuracy, especially on tasks that need multi-step reasoning or careful planning. Okay, this was for Nerds Flow to enable thinking budget feature. In Happy People Flow, you might remember from my previous videos, you can enable thinking budget in Google AI Studio directly. And now, you might wonder, how do these three fit together? Next, we'll compare them side by side so you can see where each one shines. But before that, let me reveal the deduction of mine about the Logan's post as we talked earlier. In his post, Logan said, the Gemini 2.5 Pro 0605 variant is now the stable model we plan to support long-term, based on all the feedback from developers. Here I want to pay more attention to this point. We plan to support long-term. Then I said in my post, we plan to support long-term. Gemini 2.5 Pro and Flash means we will not see Gemini 3 in near future, but in mid-future, maybe preview version, and it is low possibility. Since Gemini 2.5 updates are pretty huge move, we will keep using these model for a while. That is why we need to know each model capabilities and best practices better. You don't need to worry cause I cover this point for you and prepared a comparison. Let's start to talk a little bit about the newest and fastest member of Gemini family, Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite. I prepared a special section for our newcomer cause I believe it deserves this treat. Firstly, it is now available in preview. This model is tuned to be extremely cost and latency efficient compared to previous generations like 2.0 Flash or 2.5 Flash-Lite non-thinking. Benchmarks show it outperforms its predecessors on many evaluation suites. Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite is ideal if you have huge throughput demands. For example, batch classification of documents, summarizing large sets of user feedback, or lightweight assistance handling high traffic. Even though thinking is off by default to minimize delay, Flash-Lite is still a reasoning model under the hood. If you wanted to pause and plan on trickier items, you can turn on the thinking budget parameter. And it supports our native tools like structured output, code execution, function calling, grounding with Google search and URL context, so you can integrate it into tool-based pipelines as well. What is the takeaway for you? If your priority is cost and speed at scale, but you still want the ability to reason when needed, Flash-Lite is your go-to preview model. Next, Gemini 2.5 Flash. Over the past year, research improvements have pushed Flash's performance even further. The stable release now matches the May 20th preview in capability. However, to reflect its strong value and to simplify how developers use it, pricing has been updated. Input token price is increased to 30 cents per million tokens from 15 cents. Output token price is decreased to $2.50 per million tokens from $3.50, which is very nice. By the way, there is now a single price regardless of whether thinking is on or off, and no tiering by input size. Overall, Flash remains an excellent cost per intelligence option. Finally, Gemini 2.5 Pro. Now generally available, stable and matching the June 5th preview. Demand for Pro has grown steeply and it powers many advanced tools in production. You pick Pro when you need the highest intelligence, coding assistance, agentic tasks, deep research queries, complex planning pipelines. There is no change in pricing. Because Pro has full thinking controls, you can allocate larger thinking budgets for challenging multi-step reasoning. It's at the heart of developer tools like code completion platforms, intelligent agents, and more. Now, you might be wondering, how do these reasoning abilities actually perform in real, complex tasks? Let's look at a concrete example to see how Gemini 2.5 Pro's reasoning and long-term planning shine. In a fascinating experiment, an independent developer set up Gemini 2.5 Pro to play Pokémon Blue from start to finish via an agentic harness. In the first development run, the model took about 813 hours of wall clock time, with human-in-the-loop adjustments to the harness as issues arose. A month later, with a finalized harness setup, a second fully autonomous run completed the game in 406.5 hours, almost exactly half the time. Why is this noteworthy? It is noteworthy because playing Pokémon end-to-end requires long-term planning, puzzle solving, adapting to uncertain game states, and handling setbacks, all across hundreds of in-game steps. Of course, there were some challenges as well. For instance, Gemini 2.5 Pro faced two issues: screen reading and long context reasoning. It showed that beyond 100k tokens, the agent showed a tendency toward favoring repeating actions from its vast history rather than synthesizing novel plans. This case study shows how reasoning improvements in Gemini 2.5 Pro translate into real-world long-duration tasks. It's a window into what advanced thinking models can achieve when given tool scaffolding and long-term goals. Lastly, let me show you how fast Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite updates the codes in real time. In this video, whenever user opens a new page in the application, Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite updates the context of page based on the general knowledge of application by coding really fast. This is just a next level in coding speed.
This might look like a basic operating system, but it's actually something much cooler. It's a research prototype showing off the capabilities of Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite. Every time you click through to a new window, Gemini is writing the code for the UI and its contents for the very first time, based on the context of the previous screen and the time it takes to click a button. That means this is a non-deterministic operating system. So if we go into this folder, and then come out of it, and then go back into it again, the contents are completely different each time. It's not just folder structures that we can generate whole apps. So if we click this icon, Gemini will generate an app based on that context alone. This is an example of something we could only have built with a model like Gemini 2.5 Flash-Lite, which is able to process large numbers of tokens in a fraction of a second.